guys, it's time for an art haul. It's been about 2 or 3 years, I can't even remember, because I have been on a no-buy for a really long time. But this holiday I got a gift card and it was a pretty big one, and so I felt like it was time to splurge, and I spent almost the entire thing on oil paints. Let's take a look because I got a lot of paint. They're unusual colors. I think they're unusual. Maybe you won't think that, but let's take them out. Let's look at every single one. Let me tell you why I think I purchased it. We'll do some swatching, and then we'll even get to do a little bit of painting. Okay guys, so I'm not usually somebody who swatches out their paints, but I wanted to do it this time because I wanted to show you a couple of things besides just the weird colors that I got. I wanted to show you the opacity of each of these paints. So we're going to be painting over top of some acrylic paint that I put down on the page, which is kind of my preferred way to paint these days, at least on paper. So I wanted to show the opacity, and then I also wanted to show kind of the juiciness of each of these paints coming straight out of the tube, because I have noticed that some brands are kind of more slick, more oily than others, but also it kind of depends on the pigment as well. So even within a brand, some of the colors come out of the tube just juicier than others. And so I started here with the whites because I got 3 different whites. So I got titanium white, which is the first one, which to me is usually the most opaque. And then I got an opaque white, which honestly is less opaque than titanium white. And then I got a zinc white, which is like a mixing white, so it's a less opaque white. And this one tended to be a little bit warmer than the other two, but the whites didn't really give off much of a difference. The differences you're going to start to see is in the next 2 colors. So you just saw me put down beige, and now I'm putting down this peachy pink color. The beige was more like a buttery yellow. And it's probably the most opaque color in the set that I got. The peachy pink is a gorgeous color. I love it. Not super opaque, but definitely something that I could see myself using, you know, in place of kind of mixing my own pink. And then this color here you'll see going down is one of the juiciest in the bunch, and that's the brilliant yellow, which is again an opaque color. It's probably got some white in it because it's really light, but it's just a gorgeous sunshiny yellow. So now I'm moving into some of the warmer colors that I got, and these are really what I would consider like convenience colors, this kind of whole next bunch. Orange is not something that I typically have on my palette, and I've been missing it lately. Like I've been trying to mix my own oranges, but with the reds and the yellows that I get, mostly the yellows, it's not that easy. One of my only yellows that I have in my palette is yellow ochre, and to get a brilliant orange with that is really difficult. So this orange, this cadmium orange hue, was a really great addition to my palette. I also added a couple of what I would consider purples. So I think this first one is the Caput mortem, which is like a reddish purple, and then the next one is a mauve. And these were surprisingly dry out of the tube. Like they're very dark colors, and I think that's that might be what's happening here, is kind of the darker colors might be a little bit drier, or maybe the earthier colors are a little bit drier. But yeah, these were very, very dry out of the tube. And I mean, it's easy to remedy with a little bit of oil, but it's good to know when you're painting with them that they're going to need that. So the next couple colors were kind of a surprise to me. So these were some browns. I got a warm brown, which is the Cassel Earth, and then I got a cool brown, which is the Van Dyke brown. So the warm brown is more like a purpley brown. The cool brown, you'll see right here as I put it down, this almost looked green. Like it almost looks like an olive green, guys. And it is very, very dry straight out of the tube. Like it didn't want to spread at all. But I love both of them. And in terms of like on my palette, I could see myself using these as blacks really easily. Okay, the next set on here is the greens, and green is something that I just never buy. So I bought a olive green, which is gorgeous, and this one was actually really juicy out of the tube. I don't know if you can really tell when I'm spreading it here, but it's really nice. It's really juicy. It's dark. It's not an opaque, it's not a super opaque color, but I think it's dark enough that it definitely covers up anything that's underneath it. And then the next one that I got is a green earth, and this one was not what I expected. So I did not expect kind of this, the bluish green intensity of the bluish green, I guess you would say. Again, a very dry color, not super opaque. You can actually see the lighter color coming out underneath it, but it's so dark that it does tend to be a little bit more opaque. And then that brings us to all the blues that I got. Now, blue's not something that's rare on my palette. I actually have a lot of blues in my oil paint collection. I love like a light turquoise. I love like a cerulean and an ultramarine and all of the blues. I just love all of the blues. And so I just took this opportunity to get a couple that I didn't already have and that I really wanted to try. So this first one is a turquoise, and this one is definitely not an opaque color, and it is super, super juicy. And you can see how pigmented it is, and even when it goes over the that parchment colored acrylic, it's got a little bit of a yellow tint to it, and so you can see that turquoise goes really green right over that stripe. I love this color so much. All right, the next color is a sky blue, and this is another gorgeous, gorgeous color. I expected this one to be super opaque. I don't know if it was as opaque as I expected it to be, but it's pretty opaque. It's pretty good. Another dry one. It's not a really juicy one, but it's not as dry as like some of the earth colors, like some of the browns and stuff, but it could be a little juicier. But I love the opacity of it. I love that it's like a light blue, but kind of a really neutral light blue and almost like a periwinkle. And then I got a cobalt blue, which is just gorgeous. So this is a opaque color again, a little dry, but just absolutely stunning. Like the vibrancy of that color out of the tube. I don't know if the video is going to do it justice, but it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous color. And then that brings us to the last one, which is the Prussian blue. And I'm a Payne's gray person, but this Prussian blue has kind of won me over. Like, I really love it. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous navy. It would definitely act as a black if you wanted to use it as a black in your palette. It's supposed to be semi-transparent, but I think it's more opaque because of just how dark it is. But it's, oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. So yeah, so I don't think that there was a color in this bunch that I am sorry that I got. I love every single one, and I cannot wait to get painting with them. Let's go paint. Alright guys, that's all I've got for today. In case you were wondering, I've laid out today's palette on here, and yeah, I adore these paints. If you have not gotten a chance to ever try them out, I highly recommend them. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more, guys, and I'll see you soon.